Hey Latchkey Kids, welcome to day one of the 12 Days of Christmas. And I'm going to start this off with Silent Night, Bloody Night from 1972, not to be confused with Silent Night, Deadly Night, although its original title was Death House. All too often, we give the most credit for Christmas horror to Black Christmas of 1973. However, Silent Night, Bloody Night premiered a year before Black Christmas and actually did feature strange phone calls and also heavy breathing killer. I really love how this movie starts because we get right to it. About 1 minute and 17 seconds in is when we see our first murder. The first murder we see is Wilfred Butler, who is the owner of this old New England, well, it looks to be a New England home. And due to his death, the house is left to his grandson, with the instructions that it be left as he left it, untouched. 20 years pass and news goes around that this house is up on the market to be sold. And at the same time, there is an escape at a criminally insane asylum. Speaking of movies getting credit for something that Silent Night, Bloody Night did first, the point of view shot that everyone touts in Halloween was also done here many years earlier, and one of the best shots of the movie, in my opinion, was from the point of view of the escapee from the insane asylum. It's actually kind of cool because you see a hand hitting people with a wrench. Also, instead of it being kind of slow and meandering, it was shot in a fast, frenetic way as if to illustrate the mental state of the insane person. Along with that, there were a lot of great point of view shots. In addition to that, a lawyer comes to town to see about the property, and he brings a young lady with him. They decide to stay the night at the Butler home, but they don't realize that they're not going to be alone in the home. It was a little gross to see this old lawyer dude with a much younger girlfriend. It kind of reminded me of Halloween 3, when the doctor had that, I don't want to call it a relationship because it wasn't even a full week, but whatever he had with that young lady that looked like she was barely out of her teenage years, that was a little uncomfortable as well. It was just jarring when he took off his shirt because it was like, she looked like she was with her grandfather. It was, I don't know, that's just me. Even though these things do happen, I mean, it's realistic. It does happen. It's just, I can never get used to Hollywood putting senior citizen males. They rarely do this with females, but with males, they have no problem putting, you know, a 60-year-old dude with a 20-something-year-old girlfriend. Like that's, you know, like that happens every single day. It happens, but it's not as frequently as what we see in Hollywood. That's as much as a plot as I'm going to tell you because I cannot spoil this movie as it is a mystery thriller, heavy on the mystery part. The dialogue is a little clunky at parts, but the storytelling is solid. And when I say solid, I mean it's very compelling how it unravels, kind of like, I shouldn't say unravel, it's more like layers peel back like an onion, more so than unraveling. But I like the way the mystery unfolded. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for, unfolded. Filmmaking wise, there is a really great flashback sequence that makes use of sepia. And if you watch my other reviews, you know I'm not a fan of sepia filters, but with this, it actually really worked. It was effective for what they were trying to convey. And the reveal is just great. If you've never seen this movie, it's got a great reveal. And it never loses impact. I watch this about once a year, and I'm still never bored by the reveal. Even though I know that it's coming, I know what it's going to be, it's still entertaining for me. The one thing that I do wish is that this could get a digital restoration or be remastered into like a, I wouldn't say 4K. It's jarring sometimes to see older movies restored in HD. I don't know why. It just kind of loses some nostalgia for me. So I wouldn't want it to be HD per se, but just a digital restoration just so it's nice and crisp and better looking, especially some of the gore scenes in this. I really feel like they're meant to be enjoyed still. What else can I say about Silent Night, Bloody Night? I feel like it's very underrated. It's not given enough attention. Every year, everyone wants to give all the attention to Black Christmas and to Silent Night, Bloody Night, and maybe even to Christmas Evil. And in of recent years, you have like Krampus and A Christmas Horror Story. That was pretty good. I like that one. But this, I feel, is like an almost forgotten classic. Have you seen Silent Night, Bloody Night? If not, it's actually on YouTube, and I think I shared the link on my Facebook group. If you haven't seen Silent Night, Bloody Night, I don't know whether it is come up under fair use or something, but the whole movie has been uploaded to YouTube for at least like 3 or 4 years. But I'll also put the link in the description box below if you do want to check it out. I highly recommend it if you enjoy mystery thrillers with heightened violence. And I'll be right back to talk to you about To All a Goodnight. Hey guys, let's talk about To All a Goodnight. This is another movie that I really feel is very underrated. And aside from the All Through the House segment of Tales from the Crypt 1972, this would be the first full-length movie that featured a killer Santa. This movie starts off kind of silly though. It starts off with these girls chasing another girl chanting sorority, sorority. Not like Phi Delta Gamma or Lambda 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 or Mega Mu, just generic sorority, sorority, sorority. Anyway, the girl that they chase accidentally falls off the balcony and dies. And if you are familiar with Slasher Movie 101, you know that this is going to be the basis for some type of revenge that's going to take place. After that prologue scene, the movie cuts to some girls going home for Christmas break and some girls staying behind for the Christmas break. We actually don't get to know them very well before they start getting killed off by the killer Santa. One of the girls is portrayed as soft-spoken and innocent, and we know that that's most likely going to be the final girl. I can only really think of one slasher movie in which this trope was flipped, and that was also another Christmas horror movie, and that was Black Christmas. The innocent, well, I should say one of the most innocent characters is killed, and the girl who isn't so innocent and is in fact pregnant by her boyfriend survives. Oh shit, spoiler alert. And it just started thunderstorming. Hopefully my microphone won't pick that up. I'm going to keep going because I got a schedule to keep. One negative about this movie, or at least the copy that I saw, it's mostly shot in the dark. So I couldn't even tell you if the kills were good because I could barely see them. This is another movie that would be great to see remastered or restored in some way. Not so much because this is such an awesome movie, but I feel like it could be saved by some of the kills. Like I said, I couldn't see them clearly, so I don't know whether they were saving or not, but it would be great to see a clearer copy to be able to determine that. From what I could see, it looked like the special effects team did try to do some really good work. It's just a real shame that I couldn't see it. I will say that I think that the special effects team, the cinematographer, and whoever did the score did a really good job for a movie that was shot in 1 week. Again, this one being a mystery like the first movie that I reviewed tonight, I'm not going to tell you who the killer was. Even though this movie is 37 years old, I feel like it's worth you watching and finding out for yourself. When you do see who the killer is, you might be tempted to say, oh, this copied off this other very popular famous movie. But it did not, because this movie came out 5 years before that other movie. To be honest, there's parts of this movie that are kind of bad, and I mean Mystery Science Theater 3000 bad. But it's still entertaining. And there was some weird bits that left me with a lot of questions. Took notes on that because there's no way I was going to remember these. Questions like, why was that one girl dancing around in her nightgown while the killer was trying to stab the other girl? How many times can a chick trip while running? Why was that one dude sleeping under his plane in a sleeping bag? Also, what's up with the dancing girl at the end? Maybe I need to buy this on DVD and see if there's extras or director commentary to try to explain this, because there isn't a whole lot of information available about this movie online. So I'm going to probably end up looking for a good DVD copy of this movie. This is another one that has been on YouTube for many years, so I don't know whether there is a newer version or a remastered version, unfortunately. But fortunately for you, if you do want to watch this, I will put the link in the description box below. I definitely recommend it as one of the least talked about and underrated Christmas horror movies. Have you seen To All a Goodnight? Did you like it? What were your thoughts about it? Let me know in the comment section below. But like I always say, just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it. And just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. So let me know what your thoughts are. Bye.